Okay.
3 people entered the waiting room, but it says view.
That's what she was getting. Let her do it.
I did it.
Okay,
There
very
should
good.
be 13 people in.
Okay. All
But
right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Meditative Life Ministries monthly Meditative Talks on Truth Zoom session. Our monthly series is entitled Principles for Inspired Living. It was inspired by Roy Eugene Davis's conversations that he has in his book, in his monthly books. But this platform offers opportunities for my co-hosts as well as my guests to articulate their views or their thoughts and their views on featured topics. And we do it in a fun, relaxed, and conversational way, as well as we have chat conversations with our participants. So feel free at the end of the session to join us and jot down any questions you may have to ask our special guests today. Our vision is people everywhere improving their lives and communities through meditative practices. Our mission is to teach methods, explore approaches, introduce tools, and provide activities that are conducive for meditation. The Meditative Life Ministries is dedicated to helping people become more consciously connected to their higher God mind or Christ mind that is within them. And we do that through our weekly meditative conference calls, our monthly meditative talks on truth Zoom sessions, and our monthly in-person sessions at the Irwin Community Center. Now, these are all sacred experiences that are designed to uplift, inspire, spiritualize our mind, and help us through the week. So to stay up to date with all of the happenings at MLM, and there's a lot of happenings that I'm going to be announcing, uh, um, remember to click the link that is provided in your weekly email for your 2026 brochure. Now, please listen carefully to the following reminders. Calling all MLM Divine Beauties. We're calling for you to travel with the Meditative Life Ministries to the Divine Beauty Women's Retreat. So if you are planning to attend, hopefully in your emails, you got a flyer. Put that flyer up. Thanks to Tina for doing that flyer for us. So if you are planning to attend the Divine Beauty Women's Retreat on February 28th in Lisle, Illinois, at Science of Spirituality, join the Meditative Life Ministries. We are organizing a charter bus departing from Christ Universal Temple to make the experience convenient, comfortable, and shared in community. And this the cost is $60, which will cover their picking you up at CUT, taking you there, and then coming back to pick you up and taking you back to CUT, as well as it includes the bus driver's tip. You can reserve your round trip seat, travel together, and return again to CUT parking lot after the retreat. If you would like to join us, secure your seat as soon as possible. Space is limited. Enjoy this wonderful, wonderful weekend. If you've ever been to the Divine Beauty Women's Retreat that our dear friend Zelma Chamberlain and the Science of Spirituality is putting on, you don't want to miss it. You want to join it. And let us know as soon as possible so we'll have a count of how many people are on the bus. Next, plan to attend the Gold Rush Women's Conference at the Hyatt Regency in Lisle, Illinois, from April 23rd through the 25th. Come and help the Reverend Dr. Jacqueline Trish Atkins celebrate 20 years of power, purpose, and transformation. Register at www.goldrushwomensconference.com. You don't want to miss that either. And that's not all. This is a year of connection and greatness. Reverend Shirley and the people of African descent, New Thought Group will hold its third Celebrating Our Soul conference from August 13th through the 16th on the sacred grounds of Unity Village. This year's theme is Claiming Our Sacred Power. Early bird registration for the conference ends March 31st, 2026. Register under the MLM to get the early bird group rate discount. And that group rate is $375 plus a $12 processing fee. So the total of that would be $387. Take advantage of this early bird special. This ministry is supported by your generous sacred donations and sacred exchanges. If it has been a blessing or inspired you in any way, you can Zelle your sacred donations to Meditative Life Ministries 2 at gmail.com. Or you can mail them to P.O. Box 473, Glenwood, Illinois, 60425. And as always, we thank you and appreciate you for your expressions of love and support. And may your 2026 be filled with bountiful blessings in every area of your life. Whether you are a longtime participant or joining us for the first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you spending your Saturday afternoon with us, and especially your Valentine's Day afternoon with us. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone. On behalf of myself, the Reverend Shirley Lawson, founder and spiritual director, our board and our committee and everyone who serves here, welcome. Come again and again. And this concludes our reminders. Okay. All right. So now I am seeing Valerie. Should I hit admit? I do see admit.
I don't see who needs to be admitted.
It was Fanny. I just clicked on it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. So Jason and Tina, we're so excited to have you. Everyone, Tina and Jason are our special guests today. They're joining us and on a very appropriate day, Valentine's Day, because we're going to be discussing and asking questions and having some wonderful conversations based on their two books. If you do not have these books, you must get them. This is what that first one looks like. And it is Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship. Now, the other one too is Taking Your Relationship Off Cruise Control. Now, relationship is everything. So even if you're not in a intimate, so to speak, relationship, everything is still relational. Am I right, guys?
That's right.
That's right. It doesn't matter if you don't want nobody or if you do want somebody.
You in a relationship.
To offer you.
We're all in relationships, whether we realize it or not.
And I only say that because sometimes I know when I didn't have any relationship, I would think topics like you guys, I ain't gonna be bothered with that.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that this is good whether we're in one or not in one, or we've done left one and we're going into another one.
All right, that
That's
exactly.
exactly.
You know, we were talking to someone, and so happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
I just wanted to say real quick, you know, people are celebrating now divorce parties, right? They all need to be here, right? Because we're understanding that the relationships just moving in and what's going on.
Going on. Well, let me start out by, let me start
You
out.
guys have people in your waiting room. You have people in your waiting room trying to get in. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I wonder now that Pat, was she able to get in? Because it shows up on mine as that they're in the waiting room. So when I
Okay,
see it,
there
I'll
she
click
goes.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll click on it too, Valerie, if I
Yeah,
see it show
that's
up on
fine.
mine on
Okay.
my end.
Sounds good.
Thank you all. Our usual Reverend Sharon is not here to help let people in. So thank you guys for your patience. We'll let you in when we see that. But let me start out with their bio. Jason and Tina Marie are certified relationship experts, creators of the Manifest Method framework, and two-time Amazon best-selling authors of, again, Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship and Taking Your Relationship Off Cruise Control. With decades of lived experience and study, they guide individuals and couples into deeper awareness, intentional connection, and conscious relationship living. Their work bridges universal laws and practical insight, helping people understand how mindset, responsibility, and awareness shape every relationship. I want to say that again. Helping people understand how mindset, responsibility, and awareness shape every relationship, including the relationship with yourself. And I'm going to say, I don't know if you have it down here, with God too. With God too. They are also hosts of the podcast Loving Beyond the I Do, where they explore conversations on love, growth, emotional intelligence, and connection. Jason and Tina Marie are known for their grounded, accessible approach that invites reflection rather than judgment and empowers people to move from insight into consistent practice. Their teachings focuses on love as a state of consciousness and truth in action. I love that. It focuses on a state of consciousness and truth in action lived daily through awareness and choice. Without any further ado, let's welcome Jason and Tina Marie.
Hey,
Thank
hey,
you. Thank
yes.
you.
Hey, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day, you guys. We
Yes,
are
happy.
so excited and honored to have you. Thank you for saying yes, and thank you for helping to put all of this event together.
Yes,
Yes,
you are
thank you. And
welcome.
we are honored.
Multifaceted.
Yes, we are
Yes,
honored to
yes,
be here on this day. Yes, thank you
yes.
so
What an
much.
appropriate day again. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yes.
Yes,
Happy
Happy
love in
Valentine's
action.
Day.
action.
Yes, this is
Love
all
in
about
Action
love.
Day. That's what it
Yes.
Yes.
is. Loving ourselves. Loving
That's right.
ourselves. That song, Valerie, keeps coming to me. I love myself so much. And then I don't know the
Sing
rest of
one.
it. So that
Sing
you
it.
can start loving me, so that I can start loving you. And the rest of it, I don't remember. Anybody
Right.
remember? Just let us know later. Let us know later. But
Shirley, Shirley,
happy
where you get that
Valentine's
song from?
Day from
Joan
Joan.
says
Thank you.
happy
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Wonderful, you guys. So, I've had the introduction. Do you
Yes.
guys want to lead us in, and then Alberta and I can start with our questions that we want to find more out about?
Sure.
Sure. Well, like I said, we're extremely excited to be here on this day, Valentine's Day, and just spread some love and joy and happiness, right? Yes, I guess we become like the love couple, so to speak. But really, it's about all relationships. Every relationship that you're in, you should be expressing love. Right? It's not just the intimate ones. And that's what we're trying to get over to people. It's not just the intimate ones. It's every relationship that you're in. So let's show up the way we're supposed to show up in every relationship. And we're going to touch on the manifest method. We're going to touch on the first book, and we're going to talk about the second book as well, which we're going to manifest that joy-filled relationship. Then we're going to take our relationships off cruise control, because you know how we do in life. Things just kind of happen. But we know it don't just happen.
How we do one thing is how we do everything, right?
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize. So oftentimes we don't even realize that we've pushed the cruise control button.
Yeah.
We're just reacting. Every day is just a reaction or a repeat of yesterday.
Kind of like Groundhog's Day.
Kind of like Groundhog's Day, where we're just going through the motions and we think that we're consciously making decisions, but we're not. We're really on cruise control, which means not only our intimate relationships, but the relationship we have with ourselves. Are we doing something different? Right? And oftentimes people confuse self-love, right, with I love myself, and not really realizing that you really put yourself on cruise control. Right? Because if every relationship in your life is not joyful, then you've put yourself on cruise control. Ooh. Because the love inside of you should be oozing out, that everybody and everything should be feeling the love, not just the intimate ones. And so that's where we try to get people to understand. You know, when people say, oh, you guys have a great relationship, it's not our relationship, it's us individually. And then coming together collectively to realize that I am love and he is love. And now that's just compounded, right? It's like that compound interest.
Yeah, that's it. That's a lot of interest right there.
So it just keeps growing and growing.
Now, when you when you were talking about that cruise control, and that we don't even sometimes know that we're on cruise control. You know what it make me think about? The subconscious mind.
Yes.
How
absolutely
95% of what shows up in our life is from us. The subconscious mind, that we just keep doing the same
from
thing
the past.
Yes.
From the past over and over, and don't realize that we're just cruising through life doing the same thing, expecting different results.
And I think that's where that saying comes from. Don't just be alive, but live. Right? Yeah. That's where that statement comes from, because so often we're just existing. We're not thriving. We're not producing. We think we get to a certain age and we've learned all that we're supposed to learn and done all that we're supposed to have done. In a sense, we really stop. If we could think back for a moment, if everybody could think back to when you were maybe like 16 or 17, just every day was a new adventure. You were always trying to, what can I do different today? How can I go? What can I learn? I can accomplish anything. I can conquer the world. Sometimes we get to a certain age and we forget to keep that same thing instilled in us. It's there. It's thriving. Let's stop cruising. Let's take everybody. Let's just, physically, let's take ourselves off cruise control. Everybody push the button.
Yeah,
we all off cruise control.
Let's get up off
just
that
taking
thing.
it off. So
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so we're ready to get started.
Okay, well, we're ready to get started. So let me start out. You ready, Alberta? We got our questions that we're going to ask. So I'm going to start out with something that just really kind of jumped out to me. In your introduction, you know what I did want to ask you before we get started? What is the manifest method?
So for us, the manifest method is something to help people realize their true innate ability, right? So each letter stands for one of the frameworks that we put together. So we're just going to do a little bit. The M is for mindset. The A is for awareness. So each letter stands for you becoming, so we're going from transformation, right? So the T is transformation. So you're starting with the mindset, and we're all the way through the ANIFEST. Right? It's all the way down to the T, where when you get to the end, when you've gone through this framework, you're at a transformation. It's sort of, we could even equate it to caterpillar and butterfly, right? We came in one way, we're coming out another.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. And I know you're going to talk more about it.
Mhm.
But in your introduction of Manifest a Joy-Filled Relationship, you said that your journey begins with the law of divine oneness, the foundational principle and the beginning of all our relational understanding. So first, will you explain and talk to us? And I know many of us, we all know, we're all New Thought from the New Thought tradition. We
Right?
understand this, but sometimes people they can come in just with another way, and I see it all the time. You could be teaching somebody something, and then somebody else come along and say it in another way. Then
Right. So I'm going to go into it. And so just from our chapter 1, right? So chapter 1 is about the law of oneness. And in the very first paragraph, just for those, and we intentionally wrote this book for people who may not be in New Thought or may not understand metaphysics, right? Or universal laws. And so it says, this law speaks to the interconnectedness of all existence. This law asserts that you and everything in the universe are profoundly and highly interconnected, from the smallest particles to the grandest celestial bodies, right? And if we go down, it says, this is extending beyond the physical realm to thoughts, emotions, and energies. Awareness of this law prompts you to recognize that separateness is an illusion and that we are all integral parts of a vast, interlinked cosmic structure, especially in our relationships.
Come on now.
Right?
I like that. I like that. So
Wait, I'm going to go
going
with
back,
one little bit. Let me go to the bottom. It says, this law extends beyond individual lives to shape the collective consciousness of the planet.
Collective
yes,
consciousness.
The collective, right? So we always
collective.
talk about collective prayer. So this law is how we are, it goes beyond the physical into universal, into the spiritual, to let you know that we're all connected. The birds, the bees, the plants, everything.
Well, I don't know if it's still being done. You guys can say whether it is or not. We used to say all the time, I am one with God. I am
That's
one
right.
with all people. I am one with all life. So really what you're saying that this law suggests that we are all energy beings sharing a common source, meaning every thought, action, and event affects the collective.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. Yes.
Everything, everything,
Everything.
the
So
good, the bad, and the
the
indifferent.
indifferent.
That's
So
right.
then you have explained what this law of divine oneness is. Now I want to ask you, how does understanding it change the way we view conflict in relationships?
You want to
Yeah,
take that?
well, you know what?
Okay.
I got something for that one. But I want to say, when conflict arises, it is not two opposing sides, but rather a shared experience asking for understanding. So you have to be able to understand what conflict actually is. Now, here,
What page we?
we're on page 4. Is that 14? Yeah, page 14, just like February 14th.
All right.
All right. Therefore, by choosing higher vibrational frequencies, you learn to maneuver troubling occurrences successfully by minimizing the negative effects on your relationships in life. Right. So when you understand that it's not one occurrence, but you are one with the universe, and it's not the outer but the inner. It's you, right? It's what you're attracting. It has nothing to do with what's going on in the outside. Then you can take ownership in what's going on in your life. It's not a one-off.
And then I may even continue that to say that the conflict really is a shift from being when we understand our oneness, right? That we share this experience. The conflict shifts from being about winning, right? Or providing your point of view, or standing on the other side of the street screaming, no, this is right, this is right. And it helps you to recognize, what's happening between the two people, what's going on, how within each other you're connected to one another. So it's about that shared experiences, that what is it within me and within that person that we're sharing, that the conflict needs to be resolved by understanding and asking yourself, right? We're not looking to protect ourselves, but we're beginning to ask, what is being revealed here? What is it that I need to pay attention to?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. There's also, Albert, you got something?
Yeah, Jason mentioned reaching for higher frequencies in the process. How do you do that?
Well,
So that becomes with the awareness, right?
I was just going to say, the more you become aware, the higher. That means that you can't solve a problem on the level in which it was created.
Yes.
So if you're down here trying to fix the problem where you created, you can't. I mean, it's just not going to work out. So you have to learn to elevate above the situation and see the differences, and then you can fix it. It's more of awareness. So it's a little bit more work, but you have to become more aware of the part that you play, the oneness that you play in this whole universe, in order to rise above it.
And I think that even connects to, right, the law of divine oneness. Once we become aware, then we can now shift and change how we view conflict and how conflict is resolved.
And every step of awareness raises the frequency.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, wouldn't that, it's like the song, I forget whether I want to know what love is. Just imagine if everybody was in alignment with that universal law of divine oneness.
Yes.
Just imagine, right?
What a beautiful world this would be if I can realize that I am one with you. I am one with God. I am one with all people. I am one with all life.
That's right.
Yes.
And then we realize that conflict, right? If I'm one with everyone and everything is coming from a universal oneness, the conflict then now not becomes conflict. It becomes information. Right. It's no longer a threat. You're not a threat to me. I'm not, because most
and I want to work through.
Yes,
exactly.
And
to work through.
And most of the time, the conflict comes because we're conflicting inside of our souls. It has nothing to do with the other person.
Nothing.
Well, I know you're going to get into that later.
That's right.
But before I turn the next question over to Alberta, I want to say, you also said, and I love this, living in alignment with this law involves developing conscious connectedness. Mindfulness becomes necessary as you recognize the impact of your thoughts and actions on your life and relationship.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's why in our manifest method, the M is for mindset, right? The mindset, becoming aware, yes. That
everything begins in the mind.
Everything begins in the mind.
Everything begins in the mind. And it, as you said, right? What are my thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions? What impact are they having? Not just on the person or the things that I'm doing it. How is it coming back to me?
Sometimes when you are not aware, what do I say? Unaware that you're unaware.
Yeah.
You don't set right intentions, and then those intentions, it comes back to you. It goes, Valerie, the ladies, one lady wanted to know Reverend Royce's affirmation,
Right.
where he says, God, may my own intentions return to me. How many times can we say that?
Exactly.
May my own intentions return to me.
And that's
You
the
only gonna say that if you're aware that your intentions are good.
I was gonna
Exactly.
say,
You
and
don't.
that's
Some things
where
you don't want return back to you.
right awareness is the key, right? And we, as we say, you know, in New Thought, awareness is just your consciousness, right? But
Yeah.
when we become aware,
Mm-hmm.
it's a totally different mindset.
But we have to get to awareness, but we only get to awareness after we deal with the whole mindset. So that's
Right.
where we have to that's the cookie the breadcrumb, right? We go from mindset to awareness.
Yes.
We have to deal with the mindset. And believe me, we spend a lot of time on the mindset before we even get to the awareness because there is a big gap between mindset and
And
awareness.
awareness. So many of us are not even aware that we have mindsets.
True. True. And they will
And
argue
that's
up and
that's
down about their mindset
that's
or
the
the lack thereof.
that's that cruise control button.
Yeah.
Cruise control. All right, then I'm gonna turn the next question over to Reverend Ware.
Okay, this question. What shifts when we stop asking who is at fault and asking what this experience is teaching us?
Oh man, that is a good question, Reverend Ware. But I'm gonna tell you, you know what shifts? Your mindset shifts. That's what shifts. And oh gosh,
go
you know
back.
what?
So-
Yeah, I think I got something right here. Go ahead, honey.
Let's see. Let's go to our second book.
Yeah. No. That's on my first book here. That's I
This
think
is in the first book.
this is in the first one.
Okay.
We so mindset heavy.
I know everything. So you got it.
I
But
think so.
actually, it's in the second book.
Which one?
Yeah, I was gonna say I know it.
Question
It's-
2.
Okay.
Okay, it's in the second book. Let's see, and because we're talking about what conflict.
Taking
Okay,
taking your
so
relationship off cruise control.
So can you repeat the question to us again, and then I can see where I want to come on and
Okay.
bring this in on you.
What shifts when we stop asking who is at fault and start asking what this experience is teaching us?
So I'm going to say before we even get into our book, understanding that when we shift, we realize that when we're blaming somebody else, blame keeps us stuck in reaction, right?
Yeah.
And then reflection, when we're talking about being aware, the reflection of that moves us into a growth. It moves us into that development that you were talking about, Reverend Shirley, right? Just from that statement, we have to develop the awareness. So when we shift from stop asking who's at fault, because we realize that sometimes we only see the fault in others because the fault is in ourselves. Isn't that what the saying says from Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dear Brutus,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
fault is not in our stars, but the fault is in ourselves. So then
Yeah.
we stop playing the blame game.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I have it here. Yep. Your mindset is the lens through which you view every interaction, every person, and every situation.
Okay.
So as you shift your mindset, everything around you start to shift. Every interaction, every relationship, every thought.
I got another question for you.
Okay.
How easy is it for us to make that shift?
As Jason just said, it's a big gap. It's very hard. If it was easy to do, it's actually easier said than done. And the first thing is, most people don't even realize, as Reverend Shirley said, there is a mindset, that they're dealing in a certain type of mindset. So first we have to pull back the layers of what are you even talking about mindset, right? People don't understand, no, my thinking is perfectly fine. And then we're because when we're talking about fault and blame, most people, when they're focused on fault, all the progression stops. So we can't even get to that next step of mindset and trying to help them kind of see from the other person's perspective because they're stuck in my viewpoint. Viewpoint. I see the way I see, I think the way I think, and I am the way I am. And so the first key is that there's a lot of layers in just trying to get a person to see differently, then to shift the mindset.
And my intention is to stay where I am.
Exactly. And some people end up exactly where they are.
And
But even if a situation, now I'm just coming from my own lived experiences. It wasn't always the greatest situation. And I had to stop with the blame and focus more on Shirley.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I had to become aware of myself.
Right.
I had to love myself. And once I started to look at me instead of them, the shift came.
And that's that shift. That's that mindset
and
shift.
that's the moment right there when
That was
you
the moment that my bags was packed.
there you go. But you had to get to that point, right? You had to mentally get to that point where you could actually pack your bags and move on to the next level.
And even going
And
back
stop blaming it on someone
about
else. It's
right.
me,
Exactly.
it's me, it's me, oh Lord. What
And
do I
that's
need to learn?
and that's
And
why
have a
it's so
desire to move.
Yeah.
The desire needs to be there too for a change.
And so
and then that's what makes it so difficult, like Reverend Ware just asked. That's why it's not easy. One, fear, the unknown, it's not, and then you start to second guess yourself. It's not so bad, the situation, it could be worse.
and you know what? Sometimes blame is not always blaming the other person. We're blaming ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So when we, as you said, Reverend Shirley, that was the point, right? That experience, when we stop and ask ourselves, what is this experience teaching us? What is this
Yeah.
experience teaching me? And then it turns that pain that you were feeling, it turns that
Yeah.
pain into insight. You,
Mhm.
it's that aha moment, because
And
first
it
we have to get
empowered
there.
me. It
Yes.
Yes.
empowered
Yes.
me.
That's the
Mhm.
Yes.
insight. So now,
Mhm.
I realize, okay, it's not them. It's not the situation, right? as
It's
as
me.
we it's me as we like to say, there's no such thing as failure, right? We throw this word failure around. There's no such thing as failure. Everything is feedback. Every obstacle is to let you know where you need to shift and change. How do I need to, if I'm looking at the mountain and I'm me in the mountain, I'm at the bottom of the mountain, I can't see the top. But if I elevate, right,
Yeah.
if I get above the mountain, now my view is totally different. That's yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And as I
Uh,
look for, like we say in class, I'm looking for the blessing. God and good is in everything. So
it's
I've
in
got to
everything.
decide to look for that.
But
Even in the things that appear to be so horrendous, we teach in the lessons in truth, don't we, Alberta?
Yeah.
The question is asked, can God be found in adversity?
So anyone who may be listening that do not come from New Thought, right? Being able to see the good in every situation. Every situation is a feedback. You are receiving feedback from this universal oneness, right? We talked about oneness. It's telling you, you're asking for one thing, your soul is yearning for another. This is the feedback to let you know you are not in alignment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Or you going
mm-hmm.
to say something?
Alberta pointed something out, which is also the secondary cause of suffering, which is we don't become aware of the mindsets because we're not willing to change.
Most of the time, we don't know there's anything to change, because first we have to get past the blame state.
well, it's hard to
Yeah.
change something when you think you're right.
That's
So
right.
Yeah.
it's nothing to change.
Mhm.
Right. So you have to, it's so many layers just to get to square one, right? It's so much you have to peel back. But before you even get there.
And we
Yeah.
always say that change requires honesty. Elevation requires honesty. You have to be willing to look at yourself and ask yourself those very hard questions that some of us just don't want to look in the mirror and ask, because it's easier to just say, I'm good. I don't need to change.
And it's hard to look in the mirror and actually lie to yourself. That's why most people don't even look in the mirror. They look right through themselves
Oh,
because
I don't
you'll
have a
be faithful.
problem. I don't have a problem, but Jason, remember we talked about I do have a problem with looking at myself when I've given a talk.
Yeah. But no one else has that problem when they're looking at you. They're getting inspired by what you're saying, by what you're delivering.
but I gotta learn to love looking at myself.
Yeah.
Gotta love that part.
Yes.
There's good in there.
Yeah.
It's feedback.
I gotta
It's
make
feedback.
that shift to say it's okay to listen and look at yourself, Shirley, when you teach it. Well, Alberta, any more on your question? Do you have any more on that?
No, we've covered it.
It's covered. Now, this question 3 also comes from taking your relationship off cruise control.
Okay.
So chapter 1, I love your title. Your first relationship and the one you can't escape. Your opening quote says, every relationship you've ever had, be it romantic, professional, or casual, is a reflection of this one. If it's strong, everything else has a chance. If it's shaky, nothing else will feel stable to you. I want to go back because when I read that, you know how songs speak to me when I read
Right.
things. You guys are my
Right.
students, so you know that.
Right.
You can't hide from yourself.
That's right.
Everywhere you go, there you are. Teddy Pendergrass.
The prophet.
That's
You
right. Right.
cannot hide from yourself. Everywhere you go, there you are. So,
Is that the children's?
with that being said,
That's the regular version.
Reverend Jackie, you not on mute?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
what's she doing? She tried to say something.
No. She was talking, but if she wasn't muted.
But I was, but I'll come back to it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Hey, Reverend Jackie.
Hey, babe. Hey.
So, with that being said, how does the relationships we have with ourselves quietly influence every other relationship? And I know we probably said it, but we can say it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, we start the chapter off with that, right? So that was just the intro, the little blurb in the beginning, what you read, right? But if we get right to it in chapter 1, let's start with the basics and get straight to the truth. You are the starting point of every relationship in your life. Every relationship starts with you. How you relate to yourself sets the standard for every other relationship you have at home, at work, in love, at church, in class, everything, right? When you step into the version of you that feels whole, confident, and worthy, the world starts meeting you at that level. So that's what we're talking about, right? You show up everywhere, and if the reflection that you're getting is not what you want to see, then what reflection do we need to look at? We need to look at what you say, right? Everywhere I go, there I am.
There I am. We need to look at what Michael said.
That's right.
The man,
The man in the mirror.
That's the most
if you
important
want
part.
to make a change, he said, take a look at yourself.
That's
and make
right.
that change.
But society says it's not us, so it makes no sense for us to look in the mirror, because if they change, then it'll make my life better. I mean, that's the craziest thing. Even when I say it, it sounds crazy. When someone else changes or change, it's gonna make my life better. Absolutely not. When I change, it's gonna make my life better, and then everything else around me will start to change.
Wow.
But it's the main relationship that you have to get a grasp on is yourself.
And in doing that, again, going back to asking the hard questions, what internal dialogue are you feeding yourself? Right? That sets the tone for every external interaction you have with someone. What are you feeding yourself? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. What is that self-talk?
Right. Exactly.
You know, the way we treat ourselves becomes a standard on how we allow others to treat us.
And even how we treat others.
Exactly. And how we treat others, right? Because I'm not going to treat you any better than I treat myself.
I'm telling you, right? Because sometimes we think we're treating people better, but really what we're doing is doing a reflection of, because if I can't give myself the same thing, how am I going to give it to you? If I
Yeah.
can't love myself, how can I show up and love you if I 100% or give you what you need if I'm not even giving myself what I need? Reverend Shirley, do you mind if we take Reverend Jackie's question? I don't want her to forget it.
Yeah. Oh, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
No, there were just one thing, and it was said, it may not be relevant anymore. That's why I pulled back. You all were talking about how there's no failure, and there everywhere is okay. There's some good there,
Mhm.
and for those that you had mentioned who are not New Thought or perhaps even thinking Christians, that's because God is everywhere evenly present. God is everywhere evenly present, and I just wanted to put that out there because somebody hearing you would say, how could that be in the midst of mess?
Right.
God
Right.
is everywhere evenly present. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah,
And
even
that's
even what Johnny used to say, Dr. Coleman used to say, there is no spot where the presence of God is not. It's just that you got to work with the mindset, you guys, of coming into an awareness and an understanding that even in the mess, the presence of God is there. We just have to call it forth and see it.
And even just to direct that to something different, so many, when we're talking about mess or bad things that happen, we have to understand when we talk about a collective consciousness, right? Everything that's going on in this world, we're all affected because we're connected. And sometimes
Absolutely.
people, and when seemingly bad things happen, people want someone to blame.
Mhm.
So that's when
Mhm.
they can't see the God in it, right? But
Mhm.
that's the time to realize that, right, when we're talking about universal laws, the law of attraction, you may think bad things are happening, but where was that person's consciousness? Has their soul developed where they're what they came to do? They're now moving on to another expression. So it's so much deeper because people, we always look for someone to blame
Mhm.
instead of looking for the understanding of what is going on.
Yeah, because if I blame someone else, I don't have to do any work. I mean, that's just perfect, right?
You know,
Because it's always somebody else's fault.
and we can say this jokingly. I always say, most of the time, you know, God get blames for a lot. People want to blame somebody, or even for those who say the devil, right? So there's a lot of blame going around instead of the mindset, the understanding, the awareness
The
that raises,
accountability.
the accountability that raises us to a new level of consciousness, to a new level of seeing and understanding and viewing things. So thank you, Reverend Jackie.
So, so yeah, to just bring it back to the question that I was asking, my relationship with myself
Mm-hmm.
quietly influences other relationships.
Yep.
Yep.
And
That's pretty powerful.
because
That's
if
pretty
you're
powerful.
if you're unhappy at home, you're gonna show up to
Yeah.
work unhappy. You're gonna be an unhappy boss. You're gonna be an unhappy employee,
Unhappy friend.
an unhappy friend. You know the friend that they call you. You look at the phone. You're like, I don't know if I want to answer this, but he's my friend. So you answer it, and he's like, I knew I shouldn't have answered it.
And it's those unhealed wounds that we do, right? The self-doubt, the self-talk, right? That shows up as insecurity. It shows up in the need for us to try to control situations that we're not even supposed to control.
Mm-hmm.
It shows up in us withdrawing from healthy relationships or relationships that are there to better us, but we withdraw from them, right? So when we don't ask ourselves, what is this trying to show me about me? What do I need to work with me? Because however I think and feel and treat me is going to show up in every relationship I have. And you can't hide it. You cannot hide it. So people may often think they're putting on a different mask when they're going out and they're trying to hide what's really bothering them. It shows up. It shows up in the way you talk. It shows up in the way you walk. It shows up in the way you treat other people. And when
Absolutely.
and when you, so, we have to ask ourselves, if you keep experiencing the same thing with different people, right? People ask, well, how come people don't like me? It has nothing to do with the people. How are you showing up as your authentic self? Or are you coming up with a mask? Are you regurgitating your unhealed wounds or your self-doubt about yourself? Are you putting those insecurities on someone else?
Do you have trust? Do you,
And is it your predominant or habitual mindset, habitual thinking that nobody likes me?
yeah.
So many things, right? So when we're talking about peeling back these layers of relationships, we can't even get to the intimate ones because we first got to deal with the one with ourselves.
Well, we got to get past the childhood stuff before we can even get to the adult stuff. So
Absolutely.
that's one thing that we've been finding out as we're working with individuals and couples. It's the childhood stuff. It's not letting go of what your parents did or didn't do and the situations you were raised in. It is what it is, but you're an adult now. You shouldn't be making decisions based off of what happened in your childhood. You have to rise above that.
And be healed.
And be healed, right? Yeah, I mean, like I didn't grow up in the best. I mean, I grew up in the inner city, but I mean, it made me who I am, right? So
and you can be grateful for that. That's how you
and
know
I'm
God
grateful.
that's how you know God was in there.
I knew because you don't know how many times I almost got robbed, and how many times I did get robbed. But you know what? God brought me through, right? So I knew that I was special because, boy, I could either run fast or they were slow because I was getting out of there. So it's just you go through so many things, but I've never said why me. I just learned to adapt to the situations. Like, okay, so if I go over here and I find myself in a situation, I'm not going back over there anymore.
Awareness.
I don't care who's over there, right? So you just become aware and you learn to adapt and you just move and you become better. But I go back to the neighborhood and some of the same people are there.
Doing the same thing.
Generations. I'm like, man, you didn't get out.
Stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't get out. You didn't want to go beyond these blocks. No, man, it's not out here for me. It's like
it takes that mindset, that shift that has to take place.
yes.
Yeah. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful.
And so we always have evidence throughout our whole entire life, what we've overcome, what we've gone through to get to this point. You know, I look in the mirror and I'm so happy to see this version of Jason and meeting this version of Jason. It's like, man, you know what? You've overcome quite a bit. You know, some things I didn't pay attention to and it still brought me through, but I made it through. But as I was going through things, I was learning how to find the good. I couldn't necessarily see the good every single time, but I had faith and I believed that there was good in this situation, whether I could see it or not. So,
and you know, that just reminds me, just sharing with everybody, Jason shared a story with us right in class when he was, 5 or 6, when you got robbed with your look.
For my Cocoa Pebbles. Shoot, I don't, yeah.
But then he knew, right? So this experience, I'm not going to repeat that again because I got up on a Saturday morning and I saw somebody and I knew I shouldn't have went. And so that's when we're talking about the feedback. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Paying attention. I remember you sharing that story in class because we were talking about intuition.
Yep.
And you learn from that experience to listen to your intuition so you can not get in that situation again.
That's right.
God was pushing on my stomach. He was like, look, boy, don't go under that Vita. And I'm like, I want them Cocoa Pebbles. I'm going to get my cereal. And I paid the price.
Yeah. I think we all probably could have a story like that. I know I do.
Right.
I know I do. Hey, that prompted me to pay attention to that still small voice of God within, which is
finding
intuition,
finding that good. Finding that good.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not come instantly, but it will come.
But you know when it's strong, and it's just like, I know this feeling. I know that when I went against it, I paid the price. So I know that when I went against it, I paid the price. But now, once I feel that in my stomach, in my gut, that inspiration, that intuition, I know that's God talking to me, and I'm going to move accordingly.
And you let patience have her perfect work.
Yes.
Scripture said, for when she is done, she's done in its entirety, wanting nothing.
That's right.
I never will forget a session in class, Tina, where the scripture, you can make your plans, but leave the outcome to God. And you had to mentally work through that.
Yes.
And if we just for the last part of this question, just for us to understand, every relationship reflects back to us, right? The relationship that we're maintaining with ourselves.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on, Alberta, to your next question.
Okay. Well, it's a hot one. What does it mean to experience love as an internal state rather than something we receive from others?
Mm.
I'm gonna pass that on to Alberta. No, I mean, Reverend Ware. No, I'm just.
I can handle it.
I know.
Well, maybe Alberta should.
Yeah, yeah. We can all chime in. I'm sure we all
Oh,
have.
we all can
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, love is okay. Yeah, love is not something that you wait for. Love is what we choose to live from. We are love, and it's
Right.
not external; it's internal. And once we understand that we were made with love to express love, then we could receive love better because it's not coming from the outside.
Yeah.
Even to reference William Watch, his book, the 12 Gifts from God, right? When he says, one of the 12 gifts, what is love? And he defines it, right? We are love. It's one of our 12 gifts. I am
Yeah.
love. It's not
Yeah.
something I can get more of. It's not something someone can take away. There's no measure. You don't have more than me, and I have more than you, and I need it from somebody else, right? When we realize that we are love and it comes internal, then we don't have to look for it externally. We're not looking for love. All these wonderful sayings, looking for love in all the wrong
All the
places.
wrong
Right.
places.
I was just
That's
gonna
right.
say that.
Right.
Yeah.
But what we realize is that we're not really looking for love. We're looking for validation because love has never left us. So when we understand I am love, if we could just get that out, especially on this wonderful Valentine's Day, right?
Yes.
I am love. So I don't need someone to fill me up. I don't need someone to validate me. I don't need someone to make me feel love because I am love. I am love. I have everything I need. And the more I develop that gift, the more I have it and the more I can share it. And so therefore, I'm not looking for it outside because no one ever wants what you're saying. No one ever wants for what they already have.
That's right. You never want it for something you already have.
That's right. So if I already have it, I don't have to look for it externally.
And then if you have it,
See,
this
Reverend Rodney Giddens, this is I co-host with them on the People of African Descent. I want to look at what he said. Where do I go? To the participants?
The chat.
The
Go to the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Is it okay if we do it this way? Rodney, would you, can he unmute himself and say what you're saying? Rodney? Hello, Rodney?
is he still
Reverend Val may have to, is he still there? She may have
Have to
to
unmute
unmute him.
Okay.
He made
I can't find him yet. I see his statement.
okay? He may not be here.
Right. I can read his statement.
Okay, read his statement.
It says, yes, one. He says, yes, only one. Since there's only oneness, therefore, the Creator has created everything out of itself. So the only true relationship is that with your Creator, has with itself and all of its individualized expressions of itself, questions that some of us just don't want to. So when we say we need to be aware, is that aware that we are already and always connected, always, hold on, one, whether we like it or not, accept it or not, believe it or not.
So true.
Wow.
And so there's
Yeah.
another one. Aletha says, I love myself so much so I can love you so much so
Right.
you can love you so much so you can start loving me.
Yeah.
That was the song, right?
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
putting the song in.
Anita, bring that to class for us. That's a song that I was trying to remember. We used to sing it, Very, very good. So
And then Rodney makes another point.
Mhm.
It says, I imagine that God said,
Yeah.
how do I love me? Let me count the ways, and created everything and
Stop it.
everyone of itself. And as we know, God is to, gotta look, wait, let's get this off. How does that go off?
It says,
It won't go.
no, God is love, and everyone is made of the one
The
love.
one love.
The one love. Well, why is it, Rodney, you can't unmute yourself?
He should
It's-
be
I
able
think
to.
I can now.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
And so just,
Hey, Rodney.
hey,
Thank you for
Rodney.
joining us.
And just for us to realize this, right? As we put this out into the world, we want to make this for everybody to understand.
Right.
Right? We as New Thought metaphysicians, we want to make sure that this gets to the people who may not know.
Right.
We want to make it so plain and so simple that people don't even question, well, what do you mean? We want to make it in simple, plain, common terminology. Hi, Rodney. How are you? Did you want to say something? Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy every day.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like to say that no matter what day, it's a holy day.
Amen.
Well, basically, I really love the conversation. And yeah, I think you hit all the points. And yeah, I think if there's someone who maybe is not understanding or questioning, that's great.
Yeah,
At least they're on their path of awareness, as I know that
exactly.
all of us were on that on this journey.
Wonderful.
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 But I love the concept of oneness, and we're all of this. Like if love was the ocean, we're all a drop of the ocean. We're
Yes,
we have
yes,
it all.
yes. Dr. Coleman used to use the example, Albert, you probably remember, of the thimble that you could go, the cup. You can go out to the ocean and get the cup of the ocean water, and it's the same ingredients that's in the whole.
That's right.
And we come out of love. And one of the books that we work with the women in recovery, it really went into how that love is expressed. And it used an example of a lamp, how much voltage is your light bulb. Uh-huh. Yeah. And so going back to the question that Alberta was asking about, what does it mean to experience love as an internal state rather than something that we receive?
You know what? You want to take?
No, I would.
Okay.
I was just going to say, it's just important to understand it's not from the outside. I think this is where we go wrong. I think this is where we have a lot of hang up as adults because we may be looking for love from our caretakers in a certain way that they thought we thought that we should have, and they couldn't give it to us. But you have to love them at the level of what they're at, and that's a sense of awareness and understanding and loving them where they're at. I had a situation, and someone asked me my sister asked me a question, and I said, I never get upset or embarrassed when someone shows up as themselves. I can't get embarrassed by that. I don't feel a certain way about that. That's them living out their expression, not me.
That takes growth.
Listen, and I didn't say I got there overnight.
It takes growth.
But it's less painful for me to let them live their experience versus me having pain about their experience and they're not.
Right.
Yes.
I saw that, Rodney, you had your hand up. Was there something that you wanted to ask or share?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, and it reminds me when you were touching on the point about that we are love. I really get that we are 100% love. I mean, the question is how much of it are we using?
Yes.
At any time. But we're never
Yes.
without love. But a lot of people, I know for myself, I had to learn that it's like joy or patience. We have
Yeah.
100%.
Hi.
How much are we choosing to use?
Yeah.
I mean, we could really ask that about anything, right?
I'm
When
on
st-
Zoom
when
call.
science when science shows us that, right, the capacity of our brain, but yet we only use 5% of it.
Yep.
And so,
Yeah.
and the only way we use more of it is to develop it, right? It's like the muscles, the same thing with our love. The only way
Yeah.
we get more of it is to develop it and to help people to realize, right? So when we're talking about partners or co-workers or family members or friend and letting them show up as themselves, right? It releases them from the pressure. It removes the pressure from us wanting them to feel an emotional gap that they probably didn't even create. Right? Last night we were on a talk radio show and the young lady was saying, my love language is, gifts of
something.
right. What is it? What is the gifts?
Affirmation.
It's
I thought it
gifts.
was
It's
gifts,
gifts.
yeah.
Right. And she was saying, so no, works, acts of work. I can't remember the
Service.
anyway.
Acts of service.
Acts of service. Thank you. Because it's so many get right. Acts of service. And she was saying that when her friends, she had one friend that would do anything for her, but then she had another friend that wouldn't. And so she was feeling, some type of way about the other friend. And what she had to realize is that I'm putting my love language off on someone else. And that's what we do when it comes to love. I'm putting my version of what love is on someone else. And when they don't show up the way I want them to show up, then it creates that conflict we talked about. But when I release them from that, when I realize that I am love, and if I don't know that, how do I develop that? How do I get to that point of understanding what does that mean to me in my life? And then I can show up differently. Then it releases other people from needing to fill that gap or that void that I have. When we talk about someone needing to love us, we no longer need that. It disappears.
Right. Well, like you talked about too, that, it's something, it is a gift. It's one of our 12 spiritual mind powers that we have to develop and learn that it is not something that is outside of ourselves.
And to also realize it's not an emotion.
It's not an emotion.
It's not an emotion.
Yep.
It's a divine idea of universal oneness.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. And people say, well, how can you say it's not an emotion? I can feel it. It's not an emotion,
but that's a whole different type of love. Then you're gonna have to break down the
right.
eros and all those type of things. We're talking about that feeling love.
Right.
So we can
you guys, again, Tina and Jason, they're my one of my students. And remember, sometimes when we talk, I always break out in song.
Yeah.
And and remember Shaka Khan, I feel for you.
Right.
I think I love you.
Or we could be like Tina. We could be like Tina. What's love got to do with it?
But we always think of that. I feel for you is something from the outside. What about what you feel for yourself and the love of God within you?
That's right. Good stuff.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. I think, Alberta, anything else on that?
No, I think we've covered it quite well.
Quite well? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I want to come back to a question.
Mm-hmm.
So why is self-awareness, and you've touched on it, but I want you to drill down more.
Okay.
Often more challenging than changing another person. If you just change him.
Right.
Yep. Because he's the problem, she's the problem, it's the problem, it's the job, everything else.
And we did touch on it, and I'm sure everybody on this call has something to say about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we realize that we cannot change anybody else, right? We cannot change. But the challenge comes from, right, when I said honesty, right? Elevation takes honesty, and we have to be honest with ourselves, right?
Honest without excuses, right?
Honesty without excuses.
I would have, but, and all of this other stuff. No, you didn't, or you did because of this, period. You have to be totally honest. Again, looking in the mirror and having a conversation with yourself.
With
One
yourself.
of those, right. Just one of those real conversations. Hey, listen, when I'm doing something and I'm out of pocket on it, I look in the mirror and I tell myself, hey man, listen, you screwed up. This you handled this thing all wrong. You need to go and rectify this. You need to do this and do that. And these are the type of conversation I have. Now I had to grow to get to this other, to this phase.
Right.
But I'm talking about this older, mature Jason. I'm not talking about the one that had to grow into that Jason, right? And it's still evolving because sometimes I ask myself a question in the mirror and I don't look back at it. I don't look at the mirror because I know I'm not ready to have that
You're
conversation.
not ready to have that deep. Well, this self-awareness, the reason why it is more challenging than changing other people is because, as you're saying, it requires confronting uncomfortable truths about yourself.
When you talked about behaviors, right? Those habitual patterns, habits.
Yes.
I'm this way. I've always been this way, and I'm not going to change. It's that.
We're keeping it real.
Right,
Yes.
right. Right. That's what people think. And
Yeah,
that's
people
why
think,
that's
no,
why
you
it's
ain't
challenging.
real.
That's what
You have to confront your fears.
that's right.
Dr. Paul Masters, he gives a technique. It's called the confrontational technique. And this is where you confront yourself and your fears. And he says it goes something like this. The power of God within me is greater than, and you fill in the blank.
But so
So
let me
if I've got fear about love or
Right.
about anything, greater is the power of God within me. First, I got to understand and be aware that there's something in me.
Yep.
So let me just ask, I don't know, let's see who's out there. Somebody answer this. So changing others feels easier, right? That to answer that question, we do that because changing others feels easier because we try to avoid what? So somebody fill that blank in. Somebody fill that. What do we try to avoid?
What you try to
Addressing our
avoid?
own self.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking personal what? I'm looking for one word. Personal we
Change.
avoid. No,
Responsibility.
Yes, yes. We don't want to take on, we avoid personal responsibility because if we say it's us, who's responsible to change us?
Yeah.
Yep.
We
But
don't want to take it on.
This is something that we have to continue to become more aware ourselves, those of us that will teach this truth, in order to help others to realize, because everybody is having a little challenge. I'm telling you, when I came into truth, and I was in a abusive relationship, and I was in the intensive, and the teacher stood there and told me that it was me. I was so pissed off. How
But you
in
didn't.
the world are you telling me that this was my fault? But because I was willing to learn what these principles were, I had to work with Shirley to understand what part I played.
And that,
Yeah, go ahead.
Fanny, you got something?
You got to unmute yourself.
Or Valerie has some muter.
You guys made me very excited when you said that confronting yourself.
Yes.
I remember I had a class, and the class was about at the fifth level, the Bible, and I heard them talking about some numbers, and they kept saying, was it 54 or 45?
45.
I didn't know what they were talking about. So finally I said, what are you all talking about? 45. Anybody remember what 45 was? Anybody,
When we
anybody
refer,
here?
Well,
Go
we were
ahead.
referring to a certain person as 45 and not their name.
I didn't say who it was. They said we were, and they were. And they were really getting down. I said, you all are almost teachers and ministers. And they were talking about President Trump.
45? 45.
45 was a number. I didn't know what it was. I said,
We're
you're
going
a
through
true
that
student.
process.
Like, true students. I said, you're supposed to love everybody and everything. And then I heard the but. I said,
Yep.
you're supposed to love everybody and everything. So that's
Fanny, that is a work in progress.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress,
That's what
and
some of them say.
we're all working to love
Yep.
ourselves first. Well, first of all, love God with all your heart and with all your
Yes.
might, and trust in God.
Yes.
And God will help you see beyond, as Jason them say, rise up to another level.
Now, I want to say this. During that same, during that same time that Reverend Fanny happened to be talking about, I do kind of remember that. And I remember getting slapped with some
I'm
truth.
frozen.
You're not frozen. Fanny, go
Okay.
ahead.
So,
I was
I got
frozen. I was frozen.
oh,
Okay.
you were. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I got slapped with some truth that day, and what came from the instructor was the only way you can see it is because it's in you.
Right.
And I said, "Are you telling me I resonate with this person?"
That's not what I got.
That's what I got, 'cause that's what
she said, don't hate. In other words, in term,
That was another thing she said.
right.
Don't hate because
the
he's there.
universal law is universal law. It works for everybody,
Everybody.
Everything.
irrespective of person. Don't be mad because somebody else is working it the way you may not work it, but it's still working for them.
Because they're there.
It's still working for them.
They're there
But-
because of the by right of consciousness.
Because of the collective consciousness that
was
put
just
that
gonna
person
say,
there.
all that is happening is it's a mirror that's reflecting back the consciousness.
Exactly.
And what we have
Yes.
to do
Yes.
as metaphysicians,
Yes.
we have to go beyond.
That's
As
right.
painful as things might appear on that physical level and realm, we got to go to another dimension.
That's right.
And we have to see beyond it.
The
There
thing
you
that-
go.
And we
Thank
hope
you,
to-
Reverend Shirley. Thank you, Reverend Shirley.
That was so long ago, right?
Yeah. but you still have to work with it. But you know what? It's different because like when we're talking about things and we don't use it in our everyday life, right? It's like, well, I need to show up. I need to understand what this truth actually is. And then you're faced with a challenge and you're like, I don't understand what's going on. And then you go, well, you have to love them. You have to, the reason why you see it. And you go, oh, this is what you mean about this, right? So it makes you dive deeper and go, okay, what else am I missing? What else needs to be opened up for me to see that the reason why I'm attracting this is because there's something in me that's attracting it to me? Oh, it just changed the way I looked at all the relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
And it means that you partaking of the collective consciousness in that area.
Exactly.
And the responsibility.
Yeah.
Taking on the responsibility to do the uncomfortable stuff. Right?
Yeah.
It demands awareness is always challenging because it requires us to have to grow. It gets us out of our comfort zone.
You know what Johnny always said, this is one of her famous quotes: grow we must.
Oh, we
Yep.
must. Right.
And
That's
the
right.
only way that we grow is to confront uncomfortable
Situation.
thoughts,
Well,
feelings.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and I was just going to say, we always tell people that if you're comfortable, that means you're not growing.
Yep.
That means you're stagnant. That's that cruise control button. That's awareness. If I'm not willing to do the things that make me uncomfortable, that means that I have settled on cruise control. Right? Uncomfortableness doesn't mean that you have to take it out on someone else. It means that you have to continually evolve. You have to continually grow. And it's not, like we said, it's not just in intimate relationships. It's with the relationship you have with yourself, being able to ask yourself those hard questions, and then being willing to move beyond who you think you are, right? The identity that we have attached to ourselves, which is false, which is through conditioning, which is through maybe even collective consciousness. It's someone else's opinion of us. We have to be able to share that. Who really am I?
Yeah, it just goes to show that we all have work to do, and that which we have been anointed to do or called to do, let's do it.
That's right.
Because
matter
what the
how
world,
uncomfortable.
because what the world needs now
Love.
is love, sweet love,
Right.
And prayer.
Yeah.
and prayer.
I got one.
And I can't be that channel if I don't know what love is. So again, the song, I want to know what love is.
Jackie?
Jackie.
Yeah, I just want to say what you all are just saying is why I literally sent one of the take your relationship off cruise control, and that recognizing that begins with to all of my nieces and nephews who are between 30 and 23, and my grandson who's 22. And every one of them have sent me back a text saying, "Oh, thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to read this. Thank you." It's really important, I think, for us to take the truth and the way Jason and Tina Marie have put it. It's a great way,
Yes, it is.
and they are eating it up, and they don't know I'm sneaking them into New Thought, but that's another whole conversation. But I was really happy that they all received it as well as they have. I mean, all of them, from the one that was 30 all the way down to Noah, who's 22. So I just wanted to mention that we got to do what you said. We got to let the world know. We got to teach
keep
it, and
freezing.
starting with them is what is good.
Yeah, we Jackie are the harbingers of these truth principles, and when we're called to share them, we need to share them, but we also need to get a deeper and greater understanding ourselves before we can try to share them.
Yeah, I keep freezing.
You know,
So one thing, Reverend Shirley, it's taking your relationships with an S.
yes,
And so let's make sure we know that it's the one with ourselves, the one with our family, the one at work or at play, the one with money and material things, right? And
yeah. What? Oh, wow! Now what is your relationship with money? Ooh,
right. So it goes into that. And then the last one is our intimate relationship. So it's all of them. We did not do the relationship with God, but that was intentional.
It was all through the book.
Right. It's all through the book. Right. It's as Reverend Jackie said, it's sneaking it in there, letting you know what are we doing. So, but everything, it's all your relationships. But I just want to say it's relationships with an S. I don't want people to think that this book is about intimate relationships. It's giving us a viewpoint of every relationship in our lives.
Can you read that?
Just can
going
Reverend-
back to
Reverend
this
Shirley,
here.
can I just they have proven it, because that was like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Those two right there. Not only did they take it in, they went and started writing books, teaching, and all of that, and have made a big difference with many, many people, not just with that book, just one-on-one, even just walking through the church. So I got it.
Yeah, they have done.
Just wonders.
Yeah, they've done what we've all are called to do.
Yes.
To make that shift and that change within ourselves.
Right.
If I be lifted up,
I'll draw.
But I've got to be the one to get lifted. Am I right, Tina and Jason?
That's right. That's right.
They absolutely did.
So going back to this.
Thank you, Fanny.
Thank you.
Challenging, becoming this self-awareness. Why is it sometimes challenging? Because it's challenging, again, because self-examination forces us to face painful subconscious flaws or error thoughts within our subconscious mind.
And beliefs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Reverend Ware said, I
we-
think she
we
said,
gotta
and beliefs.
become-
Reverend Ware, is that what you said? And beliefs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and beliefs. Because when you think about what the subconscious mind is, it's the heart, it's the feeling nature. And there are things within the subconscious mind that are erroneous. It's not the truth of who we are. But through practicing prayer, meditation, and being in the silence, the light shines on what needs to be released, healed, and let go.
That's right.
Alberta,
Yeah.
your final question?
Frozen.
How does personal responsibility create freedom rather than pressure in relationship?
Responsibility removes the illusion that happiness depends on someone else changing.
Fantastic. I love it.
Yes.
Right. So as you said, freedom comes from us knowing we always have a choice and how we respond.
Yeah.
Right. So we often say with us, we don't want to react. We just want to respond. We want to be able to respond knowing who and what we are. Where are we responding from?
Yeah.
And it's a personal, as you said, it's a personal responsibility. When we take on the accountability to be responsible for our own thinking, our own feeling, our own actions, it's that part. I can't hold anybody else accountable for the way I think and the way I feel. It came from me. But again, so it all boils down to stop playing the blame game and become aware of how to change our thinking and our feeling and our actions so that we can be able to realize that we're released, that it becomes freeing. When we let go of that burden, right?
Yeah.
It's freeing. It's freeing.
It is. It is freeing. If we
Yeah.
could what you're saying, what you've just said, Tina, we have 5 responsibilities. Humankind, mankind, 5 responsibilities. So I'm gonna ask my students.
No, don't be asking us to.
That's
Don't put us on. No, it's right thinking, right feeling, right words, right actions, and right reactions.
There
That's
you go.
right.
And you know what that does? It takes us out of a power struggle.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we're not.
And it puts the onus back on us because if I think right, I'm gonna feel right.
Feel right.
And
When
if
I
I
feel
feel
right,
right, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
speak
speak
right.
right.
There you
When
go.
I speak right, I'm gonna act right.
Yep.
And then when
Act
I
right.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
react right.
right.
And
Already know
sometimes you
that.
don't have to react.
There you go. And sometimes that's the
But
best
even when
action.
you do, you got to do it right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
got to do it right.
And
Well,
what those
let's
what those
open up.
five what those 5 things do, it makes us live intentional.
It makes us live intentionally. Yes.
Yes.
So we
And
have
every
a little time
time-
now before we go.
Wait, Alberta,
I
Reverend
just
Ware
want
was
to
saying
add,
something.
every time we take responsibility for whatever that one belief, that one attitude, that one thought was, it then gives us more freedom and it releases the pressure.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'm going to open it up. If there are any questions, comments that you have, it is 3:31, and let's give about. You guys want to give about just few minutes for those who want to get some clarity or comments.
Are you going to do a meditation?
Yeah, that's why I said it's 3:31 now. So if we maybe spend a few minutes with this, and feel free to free yourself of being afraid of asking or sharing or something. Just open up. Those that have not,
Yeah.
do it. Those that the teachers are going. You can't stop us sometime from talking.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, being afraid of being nervous It's like when we wrote the first book. It's like you write it, you rewrite it, you listen, you're doing all this other stuff. Then it's time to put it out. I'm like, I don't want to put it out there. People gonna say something about it. I'm like, I just spent all these hours, and I'm afraid to put it out. Like all this hard work, I almost didn't even make it out because it's like, well, maybe.
Well, I'm so glad you got over. You confronted that fear.
I sure did.
That's right.
You know what? Face the fear and do it anyway.
That's it.
Face the fear and do it
That's
anyway.
right.
So, I don't know, Valerie, if you have to unmute or can they unmute themselves? If you have questions, now is the opportunity and time to do that.
They can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Are
Okay,
you
great.
able to hear me?
Yes.
Lucille,
Welcome.
Good. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Well done. Let me say this. Well done, Jason and Tina Marie.
Well,
Thank you.
Lots of good information. Lamar's been sitting beside me the entire time. And that's very meaningful too. As a matter of fact, he said to me, you know, I have a better understanding now when you say if they knew better, they would do better.
Yes.
Because
Amen.
we've been working on that. Wait a minute, we've been working on that for a few years.
That is
At
something,
least
Lucille, that's something that we've all, because
yes.
Reverend Dr. Helen Carey, that was her thing.
Amen.
And Valerie, we were talking to the women in recovery about that when she said if they knew better, they do better. And we were talking about spiritual laws. Don't you know that if you really knew that you reap what you sow, you would think about what
That's
you
right.
sow.
But the other part
you-
that I add to it,
That's right.
if they knew better, they do better if they choose to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there are
Sometimes you might know better,
situations,
but choose not to do better.
no, there are situations where people have done something and they know better and they choose to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Exactly.
That also, but with that comes when they become aware, though. You know what? Your awareness takes sometimes your choices out of, because you can't choose what you become aware of.
That's right.
So
Right.
now it's that choice. Now that choice is taken away. They say, okay, you know what? Maybe when I didn't know, I had an excuse. But now that I really know better and I've gotten the feedback and the reflection, I'm definitely gonna choose something different.
Right.
Amen.
Go
I
ahead,
think
Lucille.
Tekla, I saw something. Are you on?
What, Reverend
Tekla?
Shirley, Lucille was. Go ahead, Lucille. She was still speaking.
Oh, Lucille,
I'm
you
sorry.
still-
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, was
Okay,
Lucille
I
still
just
finishing
wanted
up?
to say,
She's still there.
God bless you. Have a happy Valentine's Day. And we're going to step away for our little appointment this evening.
Okay.
right.
Well, enjoy your appointment.
Right. With a better understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you.
you.
Okay.
All right, Tekla.
Yes, I was thinking about Galen quotes Emmett Fox all the time. No such thing as undemonstrated understanding.
We don't see you.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
can you see me now?
Yeah, we can see you
It's
now.
not- my hair's not home.
That's
Okay.
okay. You're still cute.
No, we saw the fan.
Yeah,
Be that
there's
as
no
it
such
may.
thing as undemonstrated understanding.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so
Wonderful.
true.
Tekla is also, thank you, Tekla, is a part of the planning team of the People of African Descent New Thought Group. And she's doing an exceptional job with Reverend Stacy with the marketing. So it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Tekla, for being a part of us, and thank you for being a part of the People of African Descent. And I don't know if Rod is still here. I think I saw Linda come in. Linda, if you came in and you're still on, let us say hello to you. Let us give you some love, girl.
Hey there, Linda. How you doing?
Yes, I'm good. How y'all doing? I see
Wonderful.
some familiar faces. Thank you. Very good job,
Yes.
Jason and Tina. I enjoyed it. And
Thank you.
yes, I really appreciate, the sharing and how we are learning how to be people,
Yeah.
and support each other and love each other. We need a lot of that today.
We
I had
need
to
a
let go
lot
of a
of
lot
that.
of childhood stuff to get to a place where I'm just learning to love me. And
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yes.
It's so good
that's
to
the
see
whole
you,
task.
Linda.
I can't love you until I love myself. And I thought I loved myself until recently I'm going, maybe I don't love myself as much as I think. Let me just
Right.
work on this
Right.
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That
Yeah.
yeah.
awareness. That
Yeah.
awareness.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is so wonderful. We love you, Linda. Linda is also, she's been a part of People of African Descent
All
New
Oh.
right.
Thought Conference from its beginning.
Oh,
That's
And
right.
wonderful.
she is just like the behind the force behind everything.
All
And
right.
Okay.
she's
It's good to see you, Linda.
Good.
yes. We're working together to put on the greatest, one of the greatest conferences ever.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for joining
I
us.
have to just say hello, Reverend Ware. She said, you know me, London.
That's right. That's right.
We've got to have you know, Linda, I want to do like a Zoom because we do it monthly. I want to have us all on there and we can come up with a topic so that we can talk about this good stuff that people are going to be experiencing that come to the conference.
All right.
Yeah.
So
All
we can
right,
put that
Vernon.
diamonds in the
together.
rough.
Vernon,
All
do you have
right.
any? Oh,
Go
All right,
ahead.
I'm good. Thank you, Shirley.
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you,
Oh,
honey.
I was just gonna ask Vernon if he had anything to say. I
Yeah,
think.
Vernon.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
listening to everyone. It's as if there is as issues or questions that came up in my mind as the discussion progressed. As the discussion progressed, it's like they were answered, you know.
Okay.
But again, I think that as we all know throughout our journey, our breakthroughs, our overcomings come as a result on the other side of discomfort. And I have, in my experiences, I've noticed that because again, mentally, chemicalization is uncomfortable from a mental standpoint, in terms of body or exercising or whatnot to get your
Right.
body, your health right. Exercising is uncomfortable if you do
That's
it,
right.
but
That's right.
but the gains on the other side of that grows us, develops us,
That's
makes
right.
us who God wants us to be. You know.
yes.
So
That's
again,
right.
like I said, I appreciate this discussion. It was very apropos being Valentine's Day and having
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Well,
Thank
and
you.
thank.
I will just to let you all know, I will be at the African Descent Conference this
All
All
right.
right.
just like the last time I went to Unity was with you, Reverend Shirley, when we did
Yes.
our paper for Sonny Coleman. So again,
Yeah.
everything is coming full circle.
All
That
All
is
right.
so
right.
wonderful. Yes,
I do.
Linda, and Rodney, and if anybody else is on, we all went in 2016 where the God in Me spearheaded honoring Dr. Coleman for being the first African American that was allowed to live on those
All right.
grounds.
Amen.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Anybody else comments? Then we can.
I'm still going back to this book. This book is still helping me. Okay. Thank
Yes,
you so much. I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you so much.
I know. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Again, anybody else before we take a moment to just become still before we close out?
I like.
This was
I'll
Go ahead.
this
go
was
ahead.
a great Zoom session, you guys. This is Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Congratulations on both of your books. They're great reads.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy Love Day to everyone.
Happy
Yes.
Love
Hey.
Day to you. Wonderful, wonderful.
You should never call names, and I won't do it, but I want to just say thank you to a lot of the ministers here that has inspired us in so many different ways by the
Yes.
words that you say, by how you carry yourself, and just
The
by
encouragement.
the encouragement. It just means a lot. You just don't know the words that you say and how you move, how that empowers us.
Yeah.
So we like to say thank you for what you do, how you do, and how you move. Right? It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, I'll say this one thing. Reverend Fanny hit the chair and popped back up. I said, Lord, I'd like to do that right there.
Right?
Like she was doing squats. Okay. I said, okay. But I mean, like it's all inspiring in the word. So, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Especially
All of you.
Reverend Green now. Reverend Shirley Lawson Green.
Yes.
All you guys are special. I really appreciate it. And that's
Reverend Jackie with just so much,
Yeah.
you guys just
There we go with
influence
names.
and inspire.
I know.
Well, right?
I know. See, you
Just-
start and you end up in trouble. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Reverend,
it's
where
lo-
all of you all, all of you all,
everybody on here, whether they're reverends or not,
Reverend Val, right? Reverend Val and I, we
And
always on the move. We never, always got somewhere to go. It's like,
and all the support from the book, it's funny. We were at the gym and we were talking to a gentleman, and he was like, we was like, oh man, we hit the Amazon bestseller, this, that, and the other. He said, man, I had a friend wrote a book, and I asked him, I said, well, how's it going? He said, well, nothing. He said, nothing? I said, no. I said, man, my things were selling like hotcakes, man. I don't know. So I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, I'm only doing what God has poured into us to do. Ran from it for a long time. And now you just kind of just step into it and just do as God asks you to do. You just move and the rest will take care of itself.
Yes. When God moves, you move.
That's just like that.
and I'm going to say this last thing. It was at the Gold Rush Women's Conference, and these years go by so fast.
2018?
No. It had to be, did we have one in 24? 24. So it had to be 24, and we came back. Right? 24. We had Go Rush in 2024. And at that conference, I made the commitment to myself, and it's upstairs next to my bed. And I wrote down from Reverend Danny's class, I said, however spirit moves me, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say yes. So many times spirit speaks to us and moves us, and we sit and we make excuses and so at that conference, I made the decision that however spirit moves me, I'm going to do it.
Amen. All right now. That's a beautiful thing. All right. Well, let's just take these final moments. If there's no other comments or questions, saying hello to everyone. Olivia, I see you here. Joan, Gertrude, Aleda. Thank you all for joining us. Marie, thank you. The phone numbers now I won't know, but thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. Love has brought us together. That's what is happening.
Right.
Love brings us together.
Yes.
So let us take these final moments to direct our attention inward. And we're just going to do not a guided meditation, but I'll guide you to just bring your attention to your third or spiritual eye. And those mute everybody, Valerie, again, except myself. So as you close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, I want you to do that to the count of 4. So you're going to breathe in to the count of 4, hold to the count of 4, and then exhale to the count of 4. So let's begin. Take a deep breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale to your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale to your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold, exhale. And let us turn away for a few moments from the outside world, that we may turn within to that interior world that is within our being, and open our hearts and our minds to receive the love of God. And our heart center is that center that receives love from God. Charles Fillmore tells us that it is the affectionate center in consciousness, and it is where we receive love from God. So open your hearts right now. Open wide your heart and receive the energy of love that comes from our source of love, God, the good, the omnipotent. Now, again, you can bring your attention back to the third or spiritual eye, and we'll take about 5 minutes to go into the silence. If your mind wanders, simply chant or use a mantra, use the word love, 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 love. This meditation will be for 5 minutes. You may come back. Mm. Mm. Meditative Talks on Truth. All that's been discussed and talked about, meditate on that. Whatever stood out to you, meditate on it so that the Spirit of God within you can help you even have a deeper and greater understanding of what love is.
Shirley?
Thank you. Yes, yes.
I thank you for creating this space for us.
Thank
And
you.
I thank each one of you, Tina and Jason and Fanny and Jackie and Alberta, and all of you for letting the space be so welcoming and so safe
Yeah.
and so loving.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy Valentine's
you.
Day
Thank
to
you.
you all.
Thank you.
Madam
one
President, that's part of our vision moving forward, that everybody feels welcome and feel that they're in a safe space to share. And that means that we'll be bringing many of you that's on this session now on so that we can just share love together because it's needed. And God has provided a platform for it to be done. I want to thank you, Tina and Jason.
One question, Shirley. Linda was asking the name of the book. So can you put it in the chat so they can see?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who was that asking?
Linda?
Linda. Okay. Oh, yes, Linda. Okay. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And again, as I said earlier, we are the harbingers of this truth. It's been handed down to us to carry on. And let us carry it on in love. Tina and Jason, I'm happy that you guys are a part of in my life. You know, they really are my extended children.
We really are.
We really are.
They are. They say Uncle Richard.
That's right.
You've done so much. Thank you for the work that you've done on the internet and all of this good stuff that you guys are doing for me.
Thank you.
Lord knows I wouldn't have known how to do it. So I thank you for.
That's what we do for family, right, Reverend Jackie?
That's what we do. Right. And I appreciate it so much, so much. And I know that it will return to you.
Let me take it.
Pressed down, shaken together, and abundantly running over in every area of your life. Because the work that you're doing and the work that we're all doing
Yes.
is so needed.
But we
To
want to
God
say
be the glory.
to God be the glory. Thank you for inviting us and giving us this opportunity. Thank you. And thank you for everyone today joining. And happy Love Day.
Yes.
Happy Love Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm gonna go and have my lobster that my husband is gonna make for me.
Oh, watch out there now, Uncle Richard.
Reverend Shirley, you're not bragging, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It sounds like my husband.
Jackie, it's been over 40 years, so I
Gotta brag, huh? Okay.
Amen.
Amen. Everyone have a wonderful Saturday.
Oh, God bless you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
The light of God surrounds
Surrounds
us.
us. The love of God enfolds us.
The
The
power of God protects us. The
and
presence
the presence of God watches over us.
Wherever
Wherever
we
we
are,
are.
wherever
Yeah.
I am,
Wherever I am, God
God
is.
is. And
Amen.
so
it is.
it
And so it
is.
is.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.